There are whispers of disaster everywhere. There are whispers of disaster everywhere. There are whispers of disaster everywhere. I'm really sure there are whispers of disaster everywhere. On March 13th, as you probably know, the economic news is well, what do you think of this, post-apocalyptic America that the right has left us? Okay, it could be worse, but wow, like almost all Americans, like the vast majority of Americans, I consider the entire kind of like primer of how the right wants to run America. We had a primer. We had a primer of what I guess right-wingers thought we should be doing, or at least they tried. They instituted their wonderful policies, and now you see America is like a post-apocalyptic wasteland, right? I mean, politically, I'm kidding. I hope your life is going well, but you must say politically, of course, everybody's wondering, everything from A to Z, we're all wondering, are the votes going to be counted? Are the votes going to be counted? Will we ever get our government back? Wouldn't you say that's the anxiety? I guess the only people spared this anxiety are those blissful 20%ers, apparently now 19%ers. This just in, George Bush's popularity is now, or was, the last I checked, it was, like a terminal patient at 19%, so there's just no question of what we want, and there's no question that by now the right had their way of us, I guess. Oh, how would you describe that right-wing thing we just had, baby? We had, I hate to think about it, but I keep having flashbacks. We all keep having flashbacks. When the right was in control, first of all, they were just insufferably smug. They were just nauseating and impossibly smug. The right was, among other things, they just have no idea how creepy they are. I'm sorry, the right, we love you, but you have no idea how creepy you are. And they were feeling smug as a bug. They were as smug as two bugs when they thought they had the whole thing under control. Thank God, fate pulled the rug out from under them. Mr. Logan is unsuccessfully attempting to mime his glee that fate has pulled the rug out from under the Republicans so very quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. We lost focus. We were talking about how bad it is. We were talking about my friends. But it was I'm sorry, but to me, having the right in control of America was kind of like a prolonged sadistic rape.
I tell you, I am so glad the back of Republican control has been broken in America. The back of the control of the degenerate right-wingers. The Republican Party, the most corrupt group of people since Genghis Khan.
survivors of disaster, tough times ahead. Okay, March 13th, 2008. Can anyone deny there are tough times ahead? I'm sorry, the economic news, the bad economic news goes on and on. Listen.
A vicious and premeditated class warfare is being waged today against the American middle class. The housing market is imploding more horribly than at any time since the Great Depression. Poverty is increasing, and tens of millions of people are working longer hours for lower wages. The statistics on income distribution in the U.S. are staggering in their inequality. They are staggering in their inequality. They are staggering enough to drive you mad, mad, mad,
The top 1% of Americans earn more income than the bottom 50% of Americans, with the top 300,000 earners making more money than the bottom 150 million, while the top earning 0.01% received an average income increase of $4.4 million in 2005. The bottom 90% saw their average income decline by about $172. Oh no!
Whispers of disaster, whispers of despair. The United States has the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major company.
Since George Bush has been president, nearly 5 million more Americans have slipped into poverty. 8.6 million have lost their health insurance. 3 million have lost their pensions. And median family income has declined by about $2,500.
Whispers of disaster. Whispers of disaster. Whispers of disaster. Whispers of disaster. Whispers of disaster.
A two-income family has less disposable income today than a one-income family did 30 years ago. How's that for crowd? Home foreclosures are now the highest on record. More and more workers are now spending more than half of their limited incomes for housing, leaving less for basic needs. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, but that's just a taste of it. You know, anytime you look at the facts, you realize the whole conservative thing has come a cropper. The whole neocon thing has come a cropper. It would appear that right-wing policies produce the opposite of the desired effect. Right, GW?
That's right, Perry. Hi.